Sir.
Picking from your answers only.
Yes.
3 steps you would like to take to make things happen on the ground. For example, from the lab to land initiative.
Yes.
You have to be an administration and you have to bring the lab to land.
Yes.
What you will do? Should be innovative.
Sir, because I come from a scientific background, I would like to depend a lot on the data. So my first step would be to survey and collect data on whatever is the ground reality or the problem that I'm aiming at. And secondly, to design solutions based on the involvement of stakeholders, which today can be done in both offline and online as well. And finally, I could also like to design a more data-driven feedback mechanism so that the whatever action is being taken on the ground can both be monitored and also be driven in such a direction which can yield better results. So these are the things I can think of.
Since you worked in this AC segment, if you were to suggest me one AC that is opt for this size room,
yes, sir.
So which brand you will go with and what model?
Sir, I would suggest for this particular room, I would suggest a 1.5 ton capacity of air conditioner, that is a split air conditioner, and I would suggest any air conditioner which has the best star rating, whichever is available in the market, and one should also consider other factors that apart from efficiency, it also has good materials that have been used, that is pure copper that is being used in the system. So these are some of the things I would suggest.
What is R32?
Sir, R32 is a refrigerant whose formula is CH2F2, which is a refrigerant which has very less greenhouse effect on the greenhouse, but also has a greater efficiency compared to the traditional refrigerants like R410A.
Okay. Why India recently banned few refrigerants? Are you aware of?
Yes. Sir, this was in response to the amendment of the Kigali Protocol that seeks to ban the hydrofluorocarbons, which have a greater effect on the which have effect in the climate change, in the sense that they increase the temperature of the surface of the earth. So banning of
how the process is actually, how those refrigerants.
Pardon, sir, I could not.
How this like particulate matter affect the temperature of the earth?
Yes, sir. Sir, particular matter, especially particles like black carbon, they do absorb a lot of heat from the atmosphere and increase the surface temperatures.
Okay. What is the process we call?
I'm sorry, sir, I'm unable to recall this point, sir.
How many landlocked states are there in India?
Sir, I'm not sure whether it is 2 or 3, sir.
Okay. Is Telangana is landlocked state?
Yes, sir, it is a landlocked.
So we often hear about the disadvantage of having a landlocked territory. What are the advantages? 3.
Sir, I will have to think about it, sir. I'm unable to think at this.
No problem. Telangana is in news recently for good or bad reasons. Obviously, ED is one of the reasons.
Yes.
So, can you tell me if in going by the recent trend, do you think ED is like new caged parrot for the government of the day?
Sir, I would not say that ED is a cage parrot, because the enforcement directorates takes those cases into investigation which are predicate offences. That is, these offences have already been taken up by some other investigation agency like the police force. So I would not believe that ED is a cage parrot. And secondly, I believe that there should be more transparency in the way in which these cases are being taken up.
Okay. What's your take on recent decision by the Supreme Court on the Election Commission of India?
Yes, sir. Sir, the recent order by the Supreme Court was in the nature of the election of the Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners as well. And in this case, the Supreme Court was trying to fill a constitutional vacuum that there was in respect of appointment of these Chief Election Commissioner, that the Parliament has not yet made the law. So the Supreme Court was responding to a PIL in this case, and I believe it had done a good job in reminding the Parliament that there needs to be an act that needs to be
Of late, there is a criticism of the judiciary in India that they are working as a super chambers. Fine. So, do you think this judiciary is overstepping its constitutional mandate?
Sir,
And itself, they are not reforming their own NAGC kind of the thing.
Sir, I do believe that judiciary is not overstepping because in along with the fact that legislature and executive have some responsibility, judiciary also has some responsibility to ensure justice to the people. And in the recent cases, whether it was during the corona pandemic or in the recent judgment regarding the election commission, it was only trying to fill the vacuums that were there and in the nature of the larger public interest. So I believe it was not stepping out of it. But at the same time, as you mentioned, sir, there are some reforms that are also needed in the judiciary within itself as well, sir.
Okay, so what are those reforms beside NAGC?
Yes, sir. Sir, firstly, regarding the collegium system, that should be more transparent based on how the appointments and transfers are made. And secondly, there needs to be lesser pendencies and lesser number of vacancies, as we are witnessing a huge number of pendencies, like 5 crore pendencies have
5 crore.
Yes, sir, in all the courts combined. And
I believe it's a 3.5.
Sir, it has increased in the last year, sir. And vacancies are also very high. In fact, in high courts, it is nearly 40%. So that is also something that needs to be reduced. And finally, the judicial pronouncement also needs to be made more accessible to the common people, so that plain language judgments and judgments in mother tongues are also needed to be taken up, sir. These are some of the reforms that judiciary also needs.
Is there any step pertaining to e-courts in recent budget?
Yes.
Any allocation?
Sir, there was a certain allocation within the pillar of the trust-based governance, but I'm not sure how much was allocated at this point, sir.
Telangana, there are news of resurgence of Naxal movement again, particularly in the Godavari area.
Yes,
so, can you tell me the reason?
Sir, the Naxalism in Telangana is actually restricted to one particular district, that is Bhadradri Kottagudem district. But the fact that this district forms at the tri-junction between Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and Odisha, and also the fact that this region is covered by dense amount of forests, give a space for Naxals to actually increase their activities, and also that there are a lot of there is a dearth of development also compared to other regions of Telangana in this particular area. So these factors have been contributing to a resurgence of Naxalism.
Okay. My last question to you. You have maths as your optional.
Yes, sir.
In present day India, if you have to add, you have to subtract, multiply and divide something. So what are those factors you will cater?
Sir, can you please repeat the question again, sir?
In present day India, you will have to add something.
Yes, sir.
You have to subtract something, divide something and multiply something.
Yes, sir.
So what you will go with?
Sir, I will add a lot of women to the workforce.
Women to the workforce. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I would like to add that. And I would like to subtract a lot of social and economic inequalities. And I would like to multiply our economy by taking into the factor of our demographic dividend. And can I take a few seconds to think about the last one? And finally, sir, I would like to divide the resources that we have among all the people in an equitable manner, sir. Okay. So these are the things I can think of.
Great.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you,
Again,
sir.
your interview is over.
Three steps you would like to take to make things happen on the ground. For example, from the lab to land initially.
Yes.
So D and administration and you to bring the lab to land.
Yes.
What you will do?
Which have a greater effect on the green, which have effect in the climate change, in the sense that they increase the temperature of the surface of the earth. So
Three steps you would like to take to make things happen on the ground.
जा रिकॉर्ड ही नहीं हुआ.
I have seen that by doing research will test my scientific and intellectual capability. But